Every news station has an investigative team. Ours takes that even a step further. It's called the Focus Team. Our reporters take a closer look into the stories that affect you. And we are so excited to have Heather Fountaine with us to tell us a little bit more about this. You've been knee deep in this Focus Team. And for people that may not be familiar, I kind of set it up that it's investigative, and an extra step. Is that accurate?
Yeah, for sure. So Focus is all about in-depth and long-form storytelling, talking about, issues that matter to you. And so we're made up of a team of 5. There is John Charlton, Paula Vasson, Jay McAllister, myself, and then someone that you don't see on TV, and that is Miss Andrea Ash. She is our investigative producer.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah. She is the data queen. She is all about sending in those open records requests, digging through lawsuits to make sure we're getting every, piece of fine print and the important information out there.
You've done so many of these stories already. Are there some that probably stand out more than others that you're like, you know what, that's why we're here. That's why we're here to tell that story.
Oh, of course. Well, every story that we tell, we want to be able to make a difference, whether that's alerting viewers about scams, whether it's telling you about something that could potentially save your life. So for me personally, one story that I did in April was about river risks of the river, right? In January, Jacob Stover, a 16-year-old boy, had gotten in his kayak and he went missing. He was missing for 2 months, and he was finally found, and he was no longer alive, So we did this really long-form story where we talked about river safety, wearing your life vest, not going out by yourself. And Jake was a strong swimmer. He grew up on the water. But still, that current and that water is dangerous, especially in January when it's cold. So we were able to tell that story, and if it can really just convince, one more person to put on their life vest, or one more person to go out onto that water with a buddy, that's what we want to be able to do.
I kind of compare this to when I've seen them. You're not just putting everybody on blast, right? Like I see so many investigative reports, sometimes you're like, oh man, they just put people on blast. You all don't do that. I feel like it's always, here's why, or here maybe why these circumstances came into play.
Right, and we want to hold people accountable, of course. We want to make sure people are held accountable, but that's not the only kind of storytelling that we do. We're also, just focusing on making you aware of things that you may not have known about. Paul Vasson did a piece about food deserts recently and how there's a life discrepancy just based on where you live, because there's healthy food in one area and not in another. And so it's not just about calling people out, but it is about holding our community accountable.
And I feel like you're opening our eyes up to problems and issues that maybe otherwise we wouldn't know about.
Right.
So I feel like new year, new problems. And I know people may be, thinking it's been tough, right? I feel like a lot of important issues are out there. How can somebody out there, if they're thinking, wait a minute, I have a story and I want to get it to you?
Well, we definitely want to hear your story, and that's really what Focus is all about. A lot of the stories that we do are because of your tips. So you can just send a simple email, focus@whas11.com, and hopefully we will be able to work with you and cover that topic.
All right, get ready for it. Right, now
it's going to be a good year.
Now you have her email address, so definitely use it. All right, Heather, thank you.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much.